Hey there, and welcome to the channel where we break down the hidden traps in your thinking and give you the tools to make smarter decisions. Hi, I'm Alan Stafford, and let me hit you with this. Have you ever told yourself, I'm an honest person, then turned around and lied about why you missed maybe a meeting? Or maybe you said, I'm totally committed to eating healthy while polishing off a double bacon cheeseburger? Well, you see that little mental tug of war you feel? That's not just guilt, that's cognitive dissonance. And today, what I'm going to do is show you what it is, how it warps your thinking, and how to spot it before it screws with your basically decision making. All right, so cognitive dissonance is what happens when your actions and your beliefs, well, they don't match up. It creates this uncomfortable tension in your mind, like a glitch in the system. So let's say you believe you're environmentally conscious, but then you buy a gas-guzzling SUV. Your brain goes, wait, this doesn't line up. That internal discomfort, that's the dissonance. And instead of admitting we messed up, most of us, without even basically realizing it, start justifying. We'll say, well, I need the space, and I don't drive that much anyway. Boom, dissonance reduced. But the logic, well, it's a little bent. So let me give you a few examples you've probably seen or maybe perhaps lived yourself. Here's the diet dissonance. So you're on a health kick, but then you crush an entire pizza. Instead of owning it, you say,
I've had a rough day. I deserve it.
That's basically far from logic. That's dissonance management. Then there's the buyer remorse dodge. You buy a $300 gadget that turns out to be, meh, not very good. But rather than feel regret, you convince yourself it's still better than my old one. What you're doing is you're protecting your identity as someone who makes good choices. And then there's the political twist. You believe your favorite politician is ethical. But then you get caught, but then they get caught lying. So instead of changing your belief, you move the goalposts. You say something like, well, all politicians lie. At least they're not as bad as the other guy. It's basically mental gymnastics. And we're all doing these backflips with our thinking. See, your brain wants consistency. It doesn't like contradictions. So when your behavior and your beliefs clash, it creates this inner alarm system. To shut it off, your brain has two choices: change the behavior or change the belief. And guess which one's easier? Exactly. Changing behavior takes effort, so we rewrite the belief instead. We rationalize, we minimize, we blame external forces. We smooth over the cracks instead of fixing the foundation. And here's the kicker. Marketers, well, they know this as well. They design entire strategies around easing cognitive dissonance before you even buy. Ever see a no-risk money-back guarantee? That's not generosity, folks. It's psychological judo. So the big question here is, how do you fight back? Well, I'm going to give you 3 steps to sharpen your thinking and stop lying to yourself. Step number 1, notice the tension. Ask yourself, what belief am I protecting right now? If your reaction feels defensive or overly rationalized, you're probably patching a conflict. Then step 2, pause the excuse maker. Don't rush to justify. Try asking something like, if someone else did this, how would I see it? This cuts through the bias and shows you the real picture. And step 3, make micro corrections. You see, you don't have to fix your whole identity in just one move. Just take one small action that realigns you with your values. So you slipped up on a goal, right? Acknowledge it and then reset. That honesty with yourself is what builds real clarity and confidence. Okay, folks, so here's the truth. Don't look at cognitive dissonance as a flaw. Look at it as a signal, a red flag, a mental tap on the shoulder saying, hey, your actions and values, well, they're not in sync. And that's not something basically to fear, it's something to use. So what's one moment recently, in the recent days or weeks, where you felt that mental pull, that inner contradiction? Drop it in the comments. Let's make awareness the first step. And if this episode sharpened your thinking, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone whose brain could use a reboot. And remember, your mind is your most powerful tool. Sharpen it. Thanks for watching.